And welcome to Studio 5, a new face in a popular television drama, James Bond and Justin Bieber. They're all part of this week's show, and we are counting down the top 5 stories in the world of uplifting entertainment. Let's get started. At number 5.
'Twas the night before Christmas vacation. And the fun was in full swing.
You have split our family onto 2 separate flights.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, with a Home Alone reboot ready for release to Disney Plus in just a few short weeks.
The family left for their big vacation.
Is that everyone? The cars are leaving now!
But forgot one little thing.
Mom? Dad? Uncle Blake? They don't even know I'm here. They don't even know I'm here.
At number 4.
Mr. Shatner, you have inspired generations, imaginations for generations with your iconic character. Do you take this now? That was Captain Kirk, but here's William Shatner sitting here about to go to space. Do you take this also as an opportunity to inspire?
No, I'm taking it as an experience.
At 90 years young, Captain Kirk, William Shatner heads to space for the first time.
Gentlemen, I suggest you beam me aboard.
Weather concerns have bumped 90-year-old William Shatner's first trip into space on board Blue Origin's suborbital spacecraft by 1 day to Wednesday.
I plan to be looking out the window with my nose pressed against the window. The only thing I don't want to see is a little gremlin looking back at me.
If you're a fan of the popular drama series Queen Sugar, you've got a new face that you've seen in recent weeks. Actor Malachi Malik is the latest addition to the series, and he's a busy man. He's also a member of the cast of the series Saints and Sinners. Here's a sample of some of his great work as he joins us for this week's Studio 5 Sit Down.
I'm in a fight right now to keep what my daddy gave me.
The Black-owned farms just received a notice invoking seizure of their land.
Let's begin with Queen Sugar.
Just begun.
You are a new face in this very popular series. Tell me about getting the role. How did you feel about that?
You know, getting the role was awesome because I'm a big fan of the show. So I come to the show as Theo. Me and Ralph Angel go way back. We did some time in prison, so I'm out now and I'm coming to town and I'm shaking some things up. So
Maybe this is how we find out what we made of.
I've been officially laid off.
Last thing I'm gonna do is let my pride get in the way of me supporting my family.
Can you give us a hint as to what to expect?
Well, you know, Ralph Angel is, you know, he's in some trouble, some financial trouble, and I'm still connected to some of our old ways, if you say. So it's just me trying to offer him some assistance to make sure he don't lose his ball.
Feel like I'm running out of time now. This year feels like somebody's bad dream. We can wake up though, open our eyes to our blessings. Love is all I need right now.
You have to fight.
We can't become the thing that we hate.
You expect us to turn the other cheek when you have a knee on your neck?
I'm running.
Why do you think this series is as popular as it is and has such a loyal fan base?
Because it touches on you know, on current events. I mean, it's circled around family and love, and there's no, you know, it's everyday life and troubles that we see, that you see, our neighbors see, our families. It's definitely a family show, and you can look at every character and see somebody that you know, it's not yourself.
You gotta bring some beauty into this ugly world.
Ain't nothing ugly over here. We look beautiful.
What drew you to acting? How did you get started?
You ready for this?
Yes.
So I was actually at Morgan State University, and I was there originally for basketball. So I broke my right ankle my freshman year in the off season. Never played a game freshman year. Sophomore year, same thing, getting ready for the off season, came down in the rebound, rolled my ankle again, same ankle, broke it again. So a buddy of mine was into acting, and he asked me to go to an audition. I didn't know anything about acting. Long story short, he convinced me to go. Got the lead role and been bit by the bug ever since.
Wow. Yeah. So you had no interest in acting prior?
I did, but I didn't know I did. I didn't know that I had that desire then, but when I was introduced to it, it was a no-brainer.
When you did roll your ankle, where were you then? I mean, how were you feeling in terms of your future?
It's funny because if you really want to know the truth, I was a good basketball player, but I never loved the game. So when I broke my ankle the first time, it was almost like a break. You know, it was my excuse why I didn't have to play. So then I went back out again, and it happened again. I said, wow, there must be something to this. Maybe this isn't my calling. So what is my calling? In come my buddy who introduced me to acting, and here we are today, and I'm being interviewed by you.
How does it feel then to walk in your calling, and what made you know for sure that this is what you're supposed to be doing?
It's beautiful to, the old cliche. If you find something you love to do, you'll never work. I can be on set all day long. It's what I love to do. So it's beautiful to walk in my purpose. You know, it's like I'm free now. But I'm just me. I'm just the son of God. Just trying to do His will and please Him, whatever I can to help the people along the way. That's me.
We've been through more storms than most folks will ever see. But we still here.
And you can see Malachi Malik on Queen Sugar Tuesday evenings on the OWN network. We're also keeping an eye out for him in the Kirk Franklin, Devon Franklin, and Holly Carter series Kingdom Business. It's in production right now.
Just moments away.
3, 2, 1, action.
Going behind the scenes of No Time to Die.
You know, I've been incredibly fortunate to have been given that chance to explore this character in this way.
As Daniel Craig takes his final bow as 007. At number 3.
Whoa. Okay, now that beats the perfect pitch. All coming from his sticks on my homegirl switch.
It's a Studio 5 first look at It's Karma's World, a new Netflix animated series created by Chris Bridges, known to most as rapper Ludacris.
Karma's World is all about a middle school girl who is an aspiring rapper, and she wants to change the world for the better through her music.
Never thought about my name or what it meant. I never thought it would bring me no drama.
The series debuts October 15th, and a new album arrives the same day.
The inspiration behind the series was my oldest daughter. Her name is Karma, and she used to come into my studio, my home studio where I recorded all of my music, and she would constantly barge in and interrupt me and say she wanted to rap too. We draw from real life inspirations. They are very, very similar. The self-confidence issues and some of the things that Karma went through during her, adolescent years are some of the storylines that go on in this show.
You're incredible, Karma. Karma? What does that even mean? Well, it's my name. That's not like any name I've ever heard before. It's so weird.
What even is Karma? I've never heard that name before.
At number 2.
Betty had a dream to combine her love of airplanes with her desire to go into the world to reach others for Christ. The ripples of that continue 75 years later.
It's a Studio 5 first look at Ends of the Earth, a true story of pilots who take extreme risks to fly missionaries.
We've wanted to see God use us to bring a people group into the kingdom.
Take that first step. Take that first step.
The documentary on Mission Aviation Fellowship pilots is in select theaters nationwide for 2 nights, October 18th and the 21st.
Beyond anything we can imagine, this is an opportunity and a privilege of spreading the greatest news in the world.
Well, that leaves one more story in this week's countdown. We will be sharing that in just a little bit. Right now, we turn to Daniel Craig's final outing as James Bond. The long-awaited next chapter in the Bond family of films is in theaters right now. And we have a Studio 5 look at No Time to Die.
The
past isn't dead.
He is my favorite iteration of Bond, and I think it's because of the complexity he's brought to the character and the vulnerability. And now he has wisdom, right? He has all this experience he's brought in over the last 15 years of doing these films, and there's a lot to play with there.
James, fate draws us back together. Now your enemy is my enemy.
His name is Safin.
And what does he want?
Revenge. Me.
When her secret finds its way out, it'll be the death of you.
Daniel is one of the best James Bond ever.
You can imagine why I've come back to play.
He has this sense of humor and this charisma that makes him create a character that's very relatable.
Salute.
I met your new 00. She's a disarming young woman.
We have two brand new agents in this film who are allies to James Bond.
The world's moved on, Commander Bond.
You were 00?
2 years. Nomi is highly skilled, slightly cocky. You get in my way, I will put a bullet in your knee. The one that works.
There's a young lady in Santiago I want you to meet.
Paloma?
You're late. Paloma is a Cuban agent. She's intense. I had many action scenes. Thank God I had an amazing stunts team.
They put me through true military training.
I really wanted to get it right and look like I knew what I was doing.
No Time to Die represents change. We see so many different examples of women being strong in this movie.
Have you ever flown one of these?
Nope.
If you know the plot and you know the story and you know what you're trying to achieve, then all the explosions and everything going off around you sort of just let that happen.
James Bond. We both eradicate people to make the world a better place. I just want to be a little tidier.
And we felt like there was a story to finish off and to wrap up.
If we don't do this, there will be nothing left to save.
No Time to Die is in theaters right now. It scored well with Movie Guide, though there is some adult language. And this is a great time to share a story in pictures. Here's this week's Studio 5 Snapshot.
We all have a story to tell. But what makes each one different is not how the story ends, but rather the place where it begins.
Belfast in black and white. This is filmmaker Kenneth Branagh's autobiographical tribute to the Belfast of his childhood. It chronicles the life of a working-class family during the tumultuous late 1960s in the Northern Ireland capital. And there's already Oscar buzz surrounding this work, which is this week's Studio 5 Snapshot. Still ahead. A look at the making of Justin Bieber, Our World.
I just wanted to create a night that was gonna bring people together and people could just let go and enjoy themselves.
We go inside the documentary streaming now.
Welcome back to Studio 5. There is something new for Justin Bieber fans. Justin Bieber, Our World is a documentary about the making of his New Year's Eve concert. And we have this Studio 5 look behind the scenes.
I just wanted to create a night that was gonna bring people together and people could just let go and enjoy themselves.
When I first met Justin, he was a young teenager. Today, I see a young leader.
He really grew into a man, then a husband.
family life is so important.
So special. I'm excited to get back on that stage and make people smile, make people happy. Making this show happen during a pandemic was difficult. All of the checks and balances that went along with putting together this show, from the COVID tests to some people actually getting COVID during the process and having to wait in quarantine for 15 days or however long it took for it to pass. And like, you know, there was just hurdles, and it's already hard enough to put on a show of this level.
We have built a whole stage up here with the live stream. The show is going to be seen by millions.
We haven't done a show since 2017. I'm kind of nervous. The first time I'm coming out, I'm gonna feel all the eyes on me. I'm gonna want to move. I just know myself. I feel a little bit of butterflies in my stomach.
So, like, if you're nervous, and I'm, like, nervous with you.
I know. I think sometimes nerves are coming from a good place because you care.
Justin has been told that he's the songbird of our generation.
You know, being okay with your little mistakes, and then nothing's gonna be perfect. So next time you just take those mistakes and you do it better. That's life. You want to get better at something, you gotta be willing to make mistakes. If you take the shot, if you miss, you miss, but at least you tried. It's gonna be dope.
There was a mad rush to sign on, and it's crashing things.
What is the cutoff?
That growth in him as a human is translating to his work.
Justin Bieber, Our World, is streaming right now on Amazon. On that entertainment note, we have made it to the final story in this week's countdown of the 5 best headlines in uplifting entertainment. Here is a look at what's finishing on top this week.
At number 1.
And we have to say goodbye to Matt Amodio with an unbelievable 38-day winning streak. That is one for the books. It has been an honor and a pleasure to watch you here. Congratulations.
All good things come to an end, and Matt Amodio's historic run on Jeopardy ended with Monday's show.
Sad, but I'm also thinking back to all the good times that I've had along the way, and so there's plenty of happiness too.
After 38 wins, the Yale doctoral student failed to correctly answer
the category Countries of the World. Here's your clue. Nazi Germany annexed this nation and divided it into regions of the Alps and the Danube. The Allies later divided it into 4 sectors.
But he still leaves with more than $1.5 million in prize money.
I always wanted to be a Jeopardy champion, and I accomplished that with 1 win. I've had a few more wins, and with that, I think I will always have this as part of my life.
Welcome back to Studio 5. This week's soundtrack comes courtesy of something else new from Justin Bieber. It's called Ghost, and a music video has a special guest, legendary actress Diane Keaton. Take a look and hear why Ghost is what's playing in my ear this week. On that musical note, we only have a few moments left in this week's show. So let's take a quick moment and look ahead to next week. Here's just one story from the rundown.
Since the day I was born, my passion, my love, was being a quarterback. But what you start out as is not necessarily what you become.
Colin Kaepernick teams up with filmmaker Ava DuVernay to share his life story on and off the field.
While I was in high school, I felt a lot of different emotions, sometimes scary. Smooth. Ouch. Sometimes fun.
We have a preview of the limited series Colin in Black and White before it streams to Netflix.
I was in for a rude awakening.
Hope you'll join us for that next week and so much more. But before we say goodbye this week, we want to give the final word to our featured guest, Malachi Malik.
What would you say to young people watching who feel like you were possibly an overnight success, you know, watching you now on Queen Sugar, but here you tell me you've been acting since the 90s, in terms of the patience in that journey?
I would tell them that life is a journey. Do not believe any overnight success. You know, maybe it may happen for one or two, but it's not the norm. You have to do the work. You absolutely have to do the work, and do it because you love it, not because you want the fame, you want the money. Just do it and be passionate about it, and then your audience will be able to see and feel you in each role that you play. So do the work. Do the work. Don't look for any shortcuts because they're not there. But the rainbow at the end is there waiting for you if you do the work.
Malachi, thank you. That is a great final word for this edition of Studio 5 and this week's look at uplifting entertainment. Until next time, make time to uplift someone around you, and then please come on back and see where Studio 5 takes you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching.